Impossible, they said. No corporation could possibly manage to integrate a vast robotic army alongside human workers across the planet. Yet here we are. Amazon has officially deployed 1 million robots across its global network of fulfillment centers, and the march of the mechanical workforce seems unstoppable. This milestone, reached after 13 years of relentless progress, has sent shockwaves through the world of e-commerce, raising questions about whether humans stand on the brink of a new era of collaboration and competition with machines. Are we witnessing the dawn of a robotics revolution that will transform how we shop, how we work, and how entire cities function? Today, we will dive deep into the heart of Amazon's automated empire, exploring how these shiny, efficient machines have come to fruition, and uncovering the controversies, innovations, and incredible feats that have shaped this massive deployment. First off, let us clearly define our main theme: the astonishing rise of automated technology in one of the most recognizable companies on Earth, and the ways it impacts workers, customers, and entire industries. What exactly is happening inside Amazon's fulfillment centers, and how does it all connect to this unstoppable wave of new machines? In this episode, we will dissect every layer of this high-stakes development. We will explore how Amazon's new generative artificial intelligence model, called DeepFleet, is pushing the boundaries of robot coordination. We will examine Vulcan, the advanced warehouse robot that seems more science fiction than reality, and we will evaluate whether the sheer number of robots could ultimately match or surpass the number of human workers under Amazon's banner. Finally, we will discover how these changes might rewrite our understanding of logistics, job security, and the future of global commerce. Those who have followed Amazon's expansion know that this company has never shied away from making bold moves. 13 years ago, Amazon began deploying robots in its warehouses, and the public greeted this pivot with a mix of excitement, skepticism, and concern. Early on, many skeptics suspected that robots might be more trouble than they were worth, an untested technology that could lead to confusion, slowdowns, or catastrophic accidents. Over time, however, Amazon methodically refined its robotic fleet, eventually integrating these machines into nearly every facet of its fulfillment operations. The result is a deeper transformation of how items are stored, transported, and packed for shipment. Now, with these developments culminating in that fateful 1 millionth robot delivered to a facility in Japan, Amazon stands on the threshold of an unprecedented reimagining of e-commerce logistics. It is not just the number that makes jaws drop. It is the staggering possibility that, in the coming years, the robots in Amazon's facilities could match the human workforce. In other words, we are inching toward a scenario in which rows of orange and silver mechanical helpers, zipping around at breakneck speed, might be as numerous as the people who manage them in the same building. Already, an estimated 75% of Amazon's global deliveries involve some kind of robotic assistance, whether that be the robots shifting entire shelves or the new arms that handle more delicate tasks. This synergy between humans and machines has boosted overall efficiency and reduced errors, but it has not come without friction. Some employees question job security, suspecting that as the machines become smarter, the roles needed for people might become fewer. Others say the focus on automation can streamline the workflow, providing a safer environment and making the entire process more reliable and cost-effective for customers. The tension between these viewpoints forms one of the most fascinating conflicts of our time. Are the robots an existential threat to workers, or are they powerful allies that can help a global e-commerce giant serve billions of orders every year? One of the most striking new developments, and arguably the beating heartbeat of Amazon's next leap forward, is the generative artificial intelligence model dubbed DeepFleet. Created using Amazon SageMaker, one of the cloud-based tools within Amazon Web Services, DeepFleet was designed to orchestrate the movement of robots within warehouses, ensuring that each one moves along a logical route. If you imagine a chaotic waltz of mechanical dancers weaving among thousands of bins and shelves, you can appreciate why route coordination is so critical. According to Amazon, DeepFleet heralds a paradigm shift. It can optimize routes so effectively that the speed of the robotic fleet jumps by around 10%, a sizable improvement that might translate into millions of packages shipped faster every month. This is not just about ensuring robots avoid traffic jams. It is about collecting enormous sets of data, analyzing the patterns that lead to slowdowns, and computing the perfect layout for every second of operation. Then there is Vulcan, perhaps the aesthetic showstopper among the robots. Unveiled back in May, Vulcan boasts not just a gleaming metallic frame, but also two distinct arms, each with its own specialized function. One arm is used for rearranging inventory, a process that previously might have required multiple human steps, with repeated scanning, lifting, and sorting. The second arm features a camera and a suction cup that can carefully pick up items from arranged bins. This design alone is intriguing, but what truly distinguishes Vulcan is its sense of touch. Through an array of sensors, Vulcan can detect the object it is holding, adjusting pressure and orientation to keep fragile items from breaking and to ensure safer handling of heavier items. All of this suggests that in certain respects, Vulcan might already outperform human dexterity in tasks that require repeated precision. Even the naysayers might be impressed by how seamlessly it can adjust to new items it has never encountered before. But how did we get to a point where a machine like Vulcan even exists, let alone roams an Amazon warehouse? The seeds were planted a little over a decade ago when Amazon acquired Kiva Systems in 2012. For many, this was the big fiasco, a staggering investment into a robotics startup that specialized in warehouse automation. At the time, some experts called it an unnecessary gamble. Fast forward to the present, and the wisdom of that move seems undeniable. Kiva formed the blueprint for Amazon's approach to automated warehousing, providing a system in which mobile robots shuffle entire shelves to designated stations, where human employees pick and pack items. Today we see that blueprint evolving further, mixing in artificial intelligence for route planning and advanced sensors for item recognition. If Kiva laid the foundation, what we see today is a shining metropolis of robots, interconnected through sophisticated software, forging new ground in distribution. However, the story does not end with a million robots trundling around in symmetrical lines. Even more astounding is Amazon's unveiling of next-generation fulfillment centers, a plan announced in October of 2024. These futuristic facilities promise to house around 10 times the number of robots found in existing centers, creating an environment where robots are no longer a minor part of the workforce, but a truly dominant presence. Imagine row upon row of Vulcans, each sorting, transporting, and stacking goods with minimal human oversight, or perhaps entire fleets of smaller automated machines that surf aisles on a micro scale, picking up everything from bottles of lotion to the latest electronics devices. The first such facility is already operational in Shreveport, near the Texas border, introducing local residents to the unrelenting hum of machinery that never clocks out. Yet Amazon insists that humans remain an integral piece of the puzzle, arguing that as robots handle repetitive or dangerous tasks, real people can focus on quality control, customer service, and more creative roles. In a sense, Deep Fleet is the nerve center that connects a million mechanical limbs, wheels, and sensors. Every day, these robots generate troves of data, tracking item location, calculating operational paths, communicating potential speed bumps, and responding to maintenance requests. By training Deep Fleet on Amazon's own warehouse and inventory data, the company claims it can now anticipate overlaps and conflicts long before they result in chaotic traffic jams or wasted energy. This synergy between hardware and software points toward an environment where almost every single movement, from picking up a box of cereal to scanning the address label, is orchestrated for maximum speed and minimum error. Yet for all these high-tech wonders, the crucial question remains: where do people fit in? With so many rote actions automated, is there a risk we overshoot and create an environment that leaves minimal room for human input? Amazon's official stance is that people are needed more than ever, at least in the near term. According to company statements, having robots handle monotonous tasks not only expedites shipping, but also spares employees from repetitive strain injuries, such as those caused by lifting heavy shelves hour after hour. Moreover, by relying on machines to handle efficiency and speed, Amazon can empower human workers to make judgment calls, oversee safety, resolve exceptions, and engage in tasks requiring emotional intelligence or creative problem-solving. But skeptics counter that as machine learning evolves, even these roles might someday be usurped by advanced algorithms and robotic functionalities. If you find these developments astounding, or if you sense a spark of intrigue about where advanced technology might lead us, feel free to show your support. In this world of ever-accelerating discovery, a small gesture of appreciation can mean a lot. So, if these glimpses into the future of robotic fleets and artificial intelligence excite you, leave a like and share your thoughts in the comments. Another question worth grappling with is how this new level of automation fits into Amazon's broader vision. Over the past years, critics have warned that the retail giant's push for speed has overshadowed labor concerns, with some employees allegedly facing backbreaking quotas. Amazon's defenders argue that advanced robotics could be precisely the solution to these controversies, as the more physically straining tasks are handed off to machines. Indeed, the introduction of Vulcan and other advanced robots could mark a shift towards safer workplaces, with fewer physical demands placed on people. Of course, that angle raises new issues. Will employees face ramped-up productivity expectations because the robots can now do the heavy lifting? Will the use of generative models such as DeepFleet create new forms of digital oversight that micromanage every second of an employee's shift? These are not just theoretical dilemmas. They speak to the heart of how society will adapt to an environment driven by sophisticated, networked machines. Warehouse workers across the globe have varying opinions on how beneficial or detrimental these changes might be. Some see enormous potential for career growth in areas like robot maintenance, programming, and oversight, while others fear that automation will lead to job loss for thousands. In turn, local economies, like the one around Shreveport, are closely watching the ripple effects of the newly opened Next Generation Center. If robots conclusively prove their advantage, could entire towns become testing grounds for bigger and bolder expansions, with direct influences on real estate prices, roads, and local infrastructure? At the core of this push is not merely a fascination with technology, but the unquenchable demand for faster, cheaper, and more personalized deliveries. Amazon has always thrived on fulfilling orders rapidly. When you think about teeming cities, remote rural neighborhoods, or vast suburban sprawl, the concept of routing millions of packages each day becomes daunting. Robots like Vulcan and the data-driven brilliance of DeepFleet can theoretically solve many of these logistical puzzles by running continuous optimizations that might be too complex for any human team. These machines can sort out thousands of possible routes, item locations, and scheduling constraints, merging them into a single cohesive plan that, ideally, helps a package get from point A to point B in record time. People often wonder how these developments translate into cost and environmental impact. The presence of so many robots, each reliant on some form of battery power or specialized electricity lines, certainly raises some questions about sustainability. Yet proponents argue that more efficient sorting and routing means fewer wasted resources overall, including reduced packaging, minimized idle time, and fewer trucks on the road. DeepFleet's route optimizations might indirectly reduce greenhouse gas emissions by preventing overlapping paths and making shipping as streamlined as possible. In effect, Amazon could market its robotic revolution as not merely a profit-boosting operation, but also a step toward greener logistics. However, skeptics caution that expansions that double or triple the total number of robots on the warehouse floor also require significant energy investments that should not be overlooked. Vulcan may be the flashy star of the show, but one should not forget the quiet heroes, the smaller robots that move stacks of shelving units or zip around transferring freshly sealed packages. These machines are the unnoticed backbone, ensuring that items arrive at the packaging station exactly when they are supposed to. Without them, even the most exceptional artificial intelligence system would be severely limited, stuck in a realm of theoretical optimization with no real impact. By combining the raw muscle and sleepless availability of these standard robotic workers with the inventive problem-solving of AI-driven orchestration, Amazon is painting a vision of tomorrow's warehouse that feels far more advanced than what most executives dared to dream of a decade ago. And yet, it is not merely about bigger, faster, or shinier contraptions. A deeper transformation is happening behind the scenes. A shift in work culture, an evolution in how thousands of employees relate to their tasks, and an emerging dynamic that merges robotics, data science, and e-commerce into one unstoppable machine. In the next generation facilities, humans might find themselves managing entire swarms of specialized robots. Each swarm might handle a different portion of the warehouse, one for storing and retrieving fragile goods like glassware, another for dealing with large furniture orders, and yet another for fast-moving consumables like bottled water. If that sounds complicated, remember that DeepFleet is built on Amazon's vast trove of warehouse data. The model can theoretically adapt and learn from every single interaction, every near miss, every delayed route, becoming ever more efficient with each passing day. What happens next? Will other big retailers follow suit, investing heavily in generative AI and advanced robotic arms that can mimic human dexterity? The reality is, the rest of the industry may have no choice but to keep up if they want to remain competitive. Pressure to offer same-day or even one-hour shipping windows is forcing all major e-commerce players to re-examine their workflows. Another ripple effect might be the future job market, opening new roles in robotics design, maintenance, and AI programming, even as it closes doors on more traditional forms of warehouse labor. That is the dual-edged sword of progress. It can expand horizons in one direction while limiting them in another. If all of these possibilities and challenges fascinate you, now is the perfect time to let your voice be heard. Whether you are curious, concerned, or simply excited, consider subscribing for more insights into the ever-evolving intersection of technology, logistics, and human experience. Your engagement helps guide the conversation on these critical developments and ensures we keep exploring the questions that matter most. As we inch further into a future where robots and humans coexist in massive automated ecosystems, people may well look back on this era as a turning point. The 1 millionth robot was not just a symbolic milestone, but a testament to how quickly Amazon adapted to the potential of automation. From the earliest Kiva machines scuttling around basic warehouse layouts to the newly introduced Vulcan with its remarkable sense of touch, the robots have evolved in tandem with Amazon's ambitions. DeepFleet's generative intelligence, harnessed within the powerful environment of Amazon's SageMaker, shows how gleaning insights from massive datasets can produce outcomes that are more than marginal improvements. They can reshape entire operational models. Alongside these transformations, the conversation around labor rights, safety, and the boundary between man and machine will continue to intensify. If 75% of global deliveries already involve a robot, who is to say we will not see 90% in just a handful of years? On a practical level, the brand new next-generation warehouses, packed with 10 times the robotics power of their predecessors, could set new precedents for cost efficiency and shipping speed. Should that become reality, the entire game may change yet again, forcing late adopters to scramble for solutions or perish under the weight of rising customer expectations. Meanwhile, large-scale logistical success stories, such as the opening of the cutting-edge warehouse in Shreveport, hint at a broader acceptance, maybe even an eagerness to integrate advanced robotics throughout the world. In conclusion, it is not enough to tell customers that their package will arrive faster than ever. The real question is how intangible ethical, social, and environmental factors will shape the expansion of Amazon's robotic empire. Will the focus on speed overshadow the welfare of employees? Or can these new technologies enhance workplace conditions, protecting human employees from tedious, injury-prone tasks, granting them new roles in oversight and strategy? The results are not fixed. They will unfold in tandem with shifting cultural attitudes, evolving government regulations, and the unstoppable march of technological progress. And in the middle of it all stands Amazon, forging a path with its million-strong robotic workforce, a cohort poised to expand even further with help from generative AI. The eyes of the world are on these gleaming metal couriers, these busy arms and cameras that pluck our items from shelves, hoping they represent not a threat, but a gateway to a seamlessly efficient and maybe even more human-centered future. We have embarked on a remarkable journey, from the early days of cautious skepticism to a sweeping metamorphosis that has made automated routines the norm in Amazon's vast operations. Whether you believe the robots are here to save us all from inefficiency, or you worry we are heading down a path that undermines human employment, one thing is clear. The synergy of human creativity and technological prowess is rewriting the playbook on global commerce. Dive deeper, challenge your assumptions, and keep asking the big questions, because as we have learned, every single day a new development might spark the next debate or open the next door. The millionth robot is already here, and it is only the beginning.